She reached the end and she's like, you guys, like,
Yeah.
I am done. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the finale.
Yeah.
I didn't shower after working out at 5:30 and it's 7:20. So,
Well, you had time.
no, I didn't because I had to eat. So that's why I look like this. Not that I ever really look any better.
What are you, a turtle? It takes you 2 hours to eat? Sorry, you always come at me during the episodes.
Is that what turtles do?
I don't know. Probably.
If you're going to come at me, at least have the facts.
Turtles eat within a 2-hour window.
Do they?
No, that's tortoises. I apologize. What are you, a tortoise?
Hold on. Cut that. What are you, a tortoise?
Cut it!
All right. Welcome to Below Decks, where it's a podcast that recaps current Below Deck seasons with two Midwest millennial siblings. I'm Morgan.
I'm Lane.
And today we're recapping Below Deck Season 11, Episode 17, End of the Line.
Season of the line.
Finale.
Season finale.
End of the line.
It's the end of the line.
I have mixed feelings about this finale.
Yeah.
It's like, it was boring until there was like literally just a bomb dropped.
Yeah.
And then that was it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I have my
pretty
theories.
Much sums it up. We can just, we can just stop the episode now. That's
Yeah.
pretty much what happened.
Yeah, it's like boring. End.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah. It was boring as hell, but we all knew it was coming.
I did not know that exact thing was going to happen.
Yeah, I didn't know either, but we knew that we knew Barbie was going to be yelling and we knew Zandy was going to be crying.
Right, but I did not anticipate it happening the way it did.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff too at the end where I'm like, all right, quit twisting the knife.
Yes.
Like, come on.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Okay, so the way our episodes work is we start with a question for each other based on this week's episode because we don't watch them together. And then we go through the episode while focusing on 2 to 4 main points throughout. I just kind of went general today. We have finishing up the last charter, last night out, and goodbyes.
Yeah.
So to start us off, my question is, what the fuck?
Yeah. Oh, what the fuck happened?
Let's just say it. Barbie freaks the fuck out.
Yeah.
Leaves, doesn't come back, and we get the sense that she's just done with Kyle.
Yeah.
After this whole thing, I was just like, what was her angle?
Yeah, and it reminds me of something I won't get into, but you and I both know, where it's just like one thing sets them off and then boom, throw every relationship away. I don't care anymore. I'm not talking to you. But it just started with Kyle being like, hey, calm down. You're screaming at this person.
Everybody was saying that, not just him.
Yeah. Like, what did she want him to do? Like, scream back at these people who are just also telling her to calm down? Like,
I know. Okay, here's my theory on it. We've been Barbie fans this whole season. We have stuck up for her. I still like her.
yeah.
Here's my theory. She did not want to be forgotten.
Could be, yeah.
Because if we're looking at this in a real life perspective, we get a lot of below deck seasons with a lot of crew members that become, some, let's say, C-list celebrities on Instagram. They get a decent Instagram following. They can make some money off of that.
Yeah.
She wanted to kind of solidify that, kind of like, which we did not watch last season, but it was Camille.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's kind of the same route that Camille took. People didn't like her. I think Barbie kind of wanted to solidify herself as like the quote unquote villain, and it's for TV. I don't know Barbie personally. I'm not saying she's a good person or a bad person or if that's really her or not.
Mm-hmm.
But I've seen it on The Bachelor, The Bachelorette, where these people will be painted as villains and they're not, but they're remembered.
Yeah. Yeah. The other thing, too, is she definitely established herself another spot on another season.
Or a different show.
Yeah.
Like, again, you see like the people from The Bachelor and Bachelorette will go on other reality shows, or it's very common in like the Netflix world, be on one Netflix show, you'll get on another one. If you're on The Circle, you can be on Too Hot to Handle, or you know what I mean? Like,
true, yeah. If you're working with one network,
there's a bug in here.
There is. I wasn't gonna say it because
I'm gonna try to kill it.
You would only try and kill the bug.
Yep. Oh, you should have killed it, not swatted it away.
I don't have two hands.
Oh my god.
But yeah, it seems like she's like, all right, I'm gonna get in good with this network, and give them a finale that they need. Which they did need a finale. What else was gonna happen?
Literally nothing else was gonna happen. Yeah. But here's my one hang up with it is Kyle.
I know. I feel so bad for him.
Like, he didn't deserve that. If it's real, if this is real, if it wasn't planned between the two of them or whatever, if she didn't give him a heads up, like, hey, this is what's going to happen and we're fine and we'll talk after the season. Like, truly anything could have happened. If he really was caught off guard, that was shitty.
Yeah. And you got to think, they're not
They
actors.
said, I love you.
Yeah, they did.
What?
Yeah.
That's not something you throw around.
I know, and they're not actors.
Right.
Okay, like, no one's going to pay someone to become an actor and work on a boat. Right. It's just not a thing. And yeah, I really hope Kyle had somewhat of a heads up, because you could just see it in his eyes, like he was heartbroken.
Just completely, like, I wouldn't even know how to react. Like, it's not, yeah. I guess I don't even know how to.
Yeah, I mean, the best way to react is beers and your boys.
Oh, God. Yeah, that's good.
Don't roll your eyes at me. Don't roll your eyes at me. That's how I solve most of my problems.
Yeah, how's that going?
$40,000 in debt. I'm fine.
All right, what's your question?
Who's your favorite crew member?
At the end of the season?
Yeah.
Well, Captain. Can I not pick Captain? Do I have to pick someone else?
Yeah, you can pick Captain, because he was kind of... A lot of people might have gone back and forth with him towards the end with the room checks.
Oh, yeah, no, he had totally in the right to do that.
Yeah.
To be honest...
TBH.
I like Paris. She kind of made me mad with Chef.
Yeah, that was dumb.
So it'd be like Captain. I'm conflicted with Barbie. I again liked her all season. I want to still like her. What I should have done is I probably should have like looked at all of their Instagrams. I do have one thing. Did you see on Instagram that Ben and Sunny are still together?
No.
Yes.
Really?
That blew my mind. They had to keep it secret for like 15 months.
Yeah.
Because of, like, filming and then it being airing and stuff.
It would have ruined the whole, that part of the season.
I don't understand. To be honest, it wouldn't have, because it's not like this is The Bachelor.
Yeah.
I don't understand that.
It still would have been like, oh, they're fighting, but I know they're staying together.
Yeah, I guess it's for the show. But that was crazy. So I did see that on Instagram.
Good for them, if it's healthy.
Yeah. Yeah. So conflicted with Barbie, but I'd have to say Captain would be like my favorite. Who's yours?
Yeah, I mean, Captain's a pretty easy number one, but right behind him is Kyle. I like Kyle.
Even with all the stuff he was doing at the end, like being immature and skinny dipping and whatever.
Yeah, it was dumb.
Yeah.
But it wasn't like,
I guess,
change your flight, go fuck yourself.
Yeah, that's true. That's
true. I still like Barbie. I think it was just bad timing. She was tired, stressed out, and that all came out.
I guess. All right, let's just start top of the episode. We're starting where we left off. Pissed off Captain Carey. Mm-hmm. They just took the beating, which we knew they would do. We knew they weren't going to fight back.
Yeah.
They just went and cleaned up their room with, also throwing in those little douchebag comments like, "Oh yeah, we'll show him. This is clean to me." Like, okay.
Yeah.
Just take it. Just take it and move on.
The one part I did kind of think was funny was Kyle was like, "We just didn't have time to clean that day." And Captain's like, "I saw you talking to Barbie for a while up here." He's like, "All right, yeah, you got it." I'm like, "All right,
How did every single other person have time but you two? That doesn't add up."
Yeah.
So then we get into, we're still in this last charter. It's the primary's birthday and it's Beyonce themed. Fraser had a great quote here. He's like, "Mummy knows how to do her shit and do it well." I really do like him. I know people are conflicted with him too. I really do like him.
Yeah.
I think he does his job really well.
And that's the thing that kind of sucks with Barbie is Fraser had some very bad moments throughout the season, but we remember him as very good because they were all resolved. Barbie had the last bad instance.
But again, that might be how she wants to be remembered.
Yeah.
Like, if you're not tied up in a neat little box, people are still going to be wondering what you're doing.
Yeah. Like Dylan tied up in a neat little box. We'll probably never see him again.
Yeah, my what I wrote for when Dylan left, I was like, hold on, I have to find it. I said, "Good for you, Dylan. You're weird, but we love you."
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty much what I wrote down. I'm like, you know what? We talk a lot of shit about him, but he's probably going to be successful. I mean,
I don't wish any harm or bad upon any of these people. This is just a show, but
yeah, we're just two people in a bedroom.
We're just two losers, yeah.
Talking about below
exactly.
Deck. You don't have to say losers.
And then I said, I actually felt bad for a lot of them this episode. I felt bad for Dylan a little bit at the end because it's like he's just so weird. I felt bad for Zandy when we get to that part.
Yeah.
I felt bad for Chef because I keep feeling bad for Chef because he just seems like such a hot mess.
Yeah. He's like the one guy that didn't retire from yachting. He's like, why can't I get my life together?
I said, poor Chef still thinks these guests are taxing. It's literally a made up thing. These guests have literally not complained about one thing.
Yeah.
And he's like on pins and needles, like, oh my God, what are they going to say about this when they've literally said nothing?
Yeah, they like nonchalantly said to their friend, like, oh, it's kind of salty.
Right. And it was misinterpreted.
Yeah.
And then
Fraser pulled the alarm.
Yeah. God.
Too much salt.
Yeah. But really, this is a part of the show that's kind of boring. I mean...
Yeah. Once you kind of figure out, like, oh, they're trying to make it look like drama, but it's really nothing.
Well, yeah, there's, like, nothing going on. They're kind of talking about what they're going to do once the boat is done.
Yeah.
The crew does a dance to Beyonce's music, but it's clearly not her music on the show. And then I said... We know Below Deck. We know this isn't a Beyonce song.
We can pick that up.
You don't need to put a big disclaimer on.
Yeah. Like, we understand.
You can't afford Beyonce's one song. Which is true, honestly, like, probably.
Some of the songs I've used in YouTube videos before.
Yeah, because it's just generic.
Because it's not copyright.
Exactly. Yeah, but you'd think, can they just splurge on the one Beyonce song? Because it's Beyonce themed?
Probably not.
We should Google that. Okay, what should I Google? How much is it to play, let's say, a Taylor Swift song? One Taylor Swift song in a
$30,000
show. How much money... how much does it cost to use a popular song in a TV show? $25,000 to $50,000.
That was pretty close.
So I would say Beyonce and Taylor Swift would be on the $50,000 range, and like Maroon 5 would be $25,000.
Yeah, probably. First time I've thought about Maroon 5 in the last 3 years.
It's a great example, though.
Yeah.
Oh my God, this is off topic. So skip a little bit ahead if you don't care. Oh my gosh, so...
You should care.
You should care, though. This is pretty cool. Brad and I are going to Vegas this weekend. I was looking up things to do on the day we get there.
Mm-hmm.
I found Avril Lavigne is playing Saturday night when we're there.
Oh, shit.
Avril Lavigne is one of few people where I would know every single song.
Well, it's not the original, but, you know.
Oh, you're right. Conspiracy. She's dead. But no, I was like, oh my God, I got to tell Lane that because she's playing at the MGM. And I'm like, the tickets aren't that bad.
I would actually go to see that.
I know. So I didn't buy tickets because I'm like, well, we could like get there and then get drunk and then be asleep by the time the concert starts. So you know what I mean?
You guys are
like
fucking old.
We are. Yeah, we absolutely are. Nothing makes me happier than like a brunch and then like partying and then like going to sleep.
Going to bed at 7 p.m.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. That's my perfect day.
I remember because I texted you once and I asked you something. I think you guys were in Mexico. And I texted you at like 5:45 p.m. Like the time there. Not our time. But I did the math and I'm like, it's like almost dinner time.
Yeah.
What are they doing? You texted me back like 5 hours later. You're like,
We just woke
sorry, fell asleep.
Missed dinner.
I'm like, what are you doing?
I was mad that night.
Yeah.
If anybody knows, if you're old like us in your 30s and you're on vacation, that's what you do. You day drink. You're not young anymore, so you can't just like power through and keep going. You need to take a nap.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes the nap goes too long and we actually missed our dinner reservation. So I was really sad because we only had limited days there, so that means I wasn't going to get to go to that restaurant.
Yeah.
So, anywho, I'll let you know if we end up going to Avril Lavigne or if we're asleep by then.
Yeah.
All right, we got off topic. So, they start kind of building up the Barbie and Zandy drama.
Yeah.
With like Barbie being on her phone and saying like, I do the most work in this boat, and Zandy thinks she does the most work. To be honest, I couldn't tell you who I think did more work.
No idea.
Because it's all in the editing, and they both seem like really hard workers to me.
Yeah.
I can't really pick one over the other.
Yeah. I mean, and they're not like working together necessarily.
They're doing different things.
They're doing different shit. So
Yeah.
Barbie could be knocking stuff out and then get on her phone for 10 seconds.
Right.
And Zandy walks out and be like, oh, she's lazy.
Well, yeah. And then they were like arguing about like the fact that like Barbie said she needs her 8 hours. Zandy was saying she never gets 8 hours. I kind of see Barbie's point with that, where it's like, well, you have to prioritize the 8 hours then, because I think we have seen Zandy say, you know, Fraser will tell her you can be done and then she'll stay and hang out for a little bit.
Yeah.
That's your prerogative. I'm not saying you need to immediately go to bed, but you can't be mad at Barbie for then saying like, I need my 8 hours when she gets off work, she goes directly to bed to sleep.
Yeah, because we've rarely seen Barbie be the one to stay up.
Right.
You know, she does obviously very much enjoys getting at least 8 hours of sleep.
Right. Yeah. So now we're at dinner. So did you want to talk about the food?
Yeah. The first dish is cured wahoo with an Asian salad.
Oh, that looked so good to me.
It looked so good.
It was like salmon, right? Or no?
Wahoo.
What's wahoo?
It's very similar to tuna.
Oh, I guess I should let you keep going.
It's very similar to tuna and mahi-mahi.
Oh my God, that's even better than salmon.
So the first part I have is wahoo is similar to tuna. Oh, shit. It has a mild sweet flavor that pairs well with the acidic properties and the nuttiness of the Asian salad.
Dang. I looked at that. I was like, that looks really good.
Yeah. And they didn't give me much information on the next dish, the salmon on a bed of Asian noodles and bok choy.
Ooh, that sounded... Yes, they both looked good. Now I can picture them both.
Mm-hmm. I guess I'll just read it, see how I did.
Yeah.
So working with this salmon has a rich and oily flavor that will mend well with the heartiness of the Asian noodles that are similar to an Italian egg noodle. Because you know what that tastes like.
Mm-hmm.
Bok choy adds in a chunkiness, chewing. Goddamn autocorrect. I didn't mean to put that. I don't know what I meant to put.
You didn't mean to put chunkiness?
No. And fresh flavor to the mix. I'm guessing he's working with a lot of butter and oil, as well as some type of sweet and sour sauce with the noodles. And at some point, the guest says that there's a honey glaze. I'm assuming that's on the salmon.
Yes. Oh, man. So good. I love fish, but I don't trust myself enough to cook it, so I never eat it. Like,
Yeah.
I'll eat fish if I know someone that's preparing it's a better cook than me. But I can't.
You don't even do like the frozen stuff?
I don't like the frozen stuff that much.
Yeah.
Like, I'd rather buy, if I was a better chef, honestly, if I put Brad on it, he would figure it out and do really well.
Oh, yeah.
But I just don't have patience, so there's no way I could do it. But I don't really like the frozen stuff. I like the fresh stuff, but I can't cook it because I'm not a good cook. So I really only eat it when I go to nice restaurants. But then if I go to nice restaurants, I usually like order something else. So
Yeah, because it's fish. You
Right.
know, there's better stuff.
Right.
But like when you can like look off the side of the boat and see like, oh, there's the fish I'm about to eat.
Right.
Yeah, I'm gonna eat fish.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. All right. Was that it? Dessert?
Yeah. And then dessert.
It was a strawberry cake with a lemon sponge, and it looked really good. It was a very clean, like it was a birthday cake, I guess, but it was kind of a birthday cake that I would have wanted. I wouldn't want one of those like super sugary vanilla buttercream ones. And I've said this before, like I'm not a huge lemon person, but I think that would have paired really well. Like I can tell like the strawberry, I used like a strawberry icing, and it was probably like a light icing. Oh, I bet it was so good.
Yeah, it was probably like a mild version of like sweet and sour. It was probably amazing.
Yeah, and I find it hard to believe that the lemon flavor would be too strong because you want them to marry well together. So
probably more of like a sugary lemon flavor with the raspberry.
Yeah, strawberry,
blueberry.
But yeah, they were all happy with dinner. There was no complaints.
Yeah,
went well. All right, now we're on our last day. Unless something else crazy happened that night, I got nothing.
No. Yeah, the only thing is Zandy tells Fraser not to look up her skirt, and he says that he can't think of anything worse. And that night, Barbie and Kyle sleep in the same bed. But that's all I have before the last day.
Yep. Not much. So the next morning, Ben apologizes to Captain.
Yep.
But again, he's got to throw in there that he still thinks he's right.
Yeah.
But he's going to apologize. But you know what? In the end, Captain's with me. Because Captain, when Ben's leaving, he's like, would I hire Ben back? Probably not.
Yeah.
And I'm like, there you go. Like, you solidified that for yourself. If that's what you wanted, you got it. Like, if you have to have the last word.
Yeah, and it sucks because sorry, I don't know what's going on with my throat. It's like leaving any job. You want to take a shit on your boss's desk and tell him to fuck off,
right?
But they also have power over you for the next 5 to 10 years.
And you're gonna need references.
Yeah.
I mean, there is not one job I've ever left that I don't think my supervisor wouldn't say like, she's a good worker. Because, yeah, and I have my own thoughts on things, but
yeah,
that's like the way life works. You can't always.
It sucks.
Yeah, it sucks.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, good on him for apologizing, but in the end, I don't think it meant that much to Captain Carey.
Yeah, it didn't seem like it did, and half of me was kind of hoping Captain Carey would be like, all right, I forgive you. I would hire you again. Thank you for the apology. But
no,
it's not him.
No.
Not how he operates.
Well, I think it was more than that. Like, I think, he gave Ben this shot to be a bosun. Ben didn't start as the bosun, and he just didn't really completely step up for that. Like, I think he still kind of ran it like a lead deckhand.
Yeah, it was really like 4 deckhands working together.
Yep.
They worked together well, but it wasn't. Unless they just didn't show us that part of it.
Yeah.
It never really seemed like he took a leadership role.
I think Ben was really worried about everybody liking him. Like, I mean, he's with Sonny, so that's already a conflict of interest. He wanted to be best buds with Kyle, so he didn't. And I'm not saying that any of these people needed to be disciplined, and then Dylan was kind of just like, Dylan. Like, there was really no point where I was like, Ben needs to be the boss right now, or there was no time where he really kind of took it upon himself to be the leader.
Well, and it worked out fine this time.
Right.
What if you have, some people that do good work, but they have these problems and they do this and they're dramatic and they do that and they don't know how to do this. Like,
well, the room thing is the perfect example.
Yeah.
Because even if Kyle was like, oh my God, this is stupid, Ben could have taken that as an opportunity to say, yes, is this stupid? Yeah, we're going to do it though. because Captain said. That's as simple as it could have been, and he just didn't do that. He, again, was just Kyle's friend in that moment of like, yeah, fuck this. Like, it doesn't even matter.
Yeah.
It's a very simple change to be like, is it stupid? Yeah. Are we going to do it still? Yeah. And Kyle would have went along with that.
Yeah.
And that's a good example of like, Kyle is the perfect person to say, hey, we're going to do this. And Kyle had been like, okay, we're gonna, he wouldn't have put up a fight.
Yeah. I think it was... A few of the crew members are checked out.
Yeah. I mean, all of them, basically.
But. Yeah. But yeah, it was just... You said it perfectly. If Ben was just like, let's just do it, Kyle would have been like, all right.
Yep, exactly.
Because they say it took them 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And then Captain Carey's like, oh, how long did this take? And they're like, like 10 minutes. And he's like...
There you go.
There you go. Mm-hmm. Couldn't have found 10 minutes.
Yeah. So yeah, then the guests leave. Everything's great. The guests tipped $20,000. Is that good?
That's like dead middle average.
Okay. Yeah, because I know we do this every week, but I still don't know what's good and what's bad.
Mm-hmm. It's about average for regular below deck.
Yeah. So their season tip total was $208,750. Did I say that right?
Yep.
That was always, do you remember when they, like, you would go through, like, the class and the teacher would make you read? I remember specifically in a math class, the teacher was going through and we had to say, like, the long, like say $1 million or something, but it was like $1,853,721 and just, like, shitting your pants, like, waiting for your turn, like, oh my God, like, am I gonna get this right? Am I gonna make an idiot out of myself?
Yeah, and we went to public school.
Yep.
So people will give you shit for anything.
Exactly. You cannot mess up at all.
Nah, you gotta keep it 10 toes down.
I still remember the girl that farted in 6th grade.
What a loser.
I still remember that, and I feel so bad. I'm not going to say her name, not that it would ever matter, but that poor girl lives in my mind as the girl that farted in 6th grade.
Yeah, that's the shit with public school. It follows you.
It follows.
Like, there was a guy that was, I think, 2 years older than me in high school, and he shit his pants in, like, 6th grade.
Yeah.
Still an outcast. So you really had to keep it together.
You had to.
I never even went number 2 at school. I went before I went to school and when I got home from school.
Yeah, that would be smart. I mean, you can't take that kind of risk.
No.
So yeah, I guess we're at the night out.
Yeah.
Once again, kind of boring. I mean, it's fine. Everything's going like okay. Kyle's being kind of sloppy. He got drunk really fast.
Yeah.
Which I think was a bad look.
Bad move on his part, but he didn't do anything. In my opinion, he didn't do anything that stupid.
No.
People will disagree him getting naked and jumping into the waterfall, but
I mean,
yeah.
Harmless, I guess I will say. Everything he did was harmless. I still probably would have felt more like Barbie did, where like I was with a guy like that in high school. My high school boyfriend. That's to a T who he was. And everybody thought it was so funny, which it was, but not to me, So I kind of see where Barbie's coming from there.
Yeah, and I always have to remind myself because I'm a dude. Mm-hmm. I see a dude jumping in and I'm like, oh, that's pretty funny. But then you have to do the same thing. Like, what if Barbie got naked and jumped into a waterfall? Like, I'd be like, no, you can't do that.
Right. Exactly.
So, yeah, it's, I'm in the wrong. But to me, as a single guy, I think it's funny.
Yeah, of course. Guys are going to think it's funny. And girls are going to be like, it's a little bit trash or not trashy. Like,
did you catch? He was the first time he was about to go in and he like takes his pants halfway off. And then Barbie talks him down. He comes back to the table and she's like, you can't keep getting naked. You can't keep showing your big dick around.
Yes, I did catch that.
Like,
you had to throw that in there?
You had to throw that in there. Like, don't quit driving your sports car around. Like, Jesus, Barbie.
Just quit driving your 2024 Maserati candy red.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, she had to throw that in there. And then this is where they kind of talk, like, Ben and Sunny are talking. They're kind of like, are we going to stay together? Are we not? Really, we only hear from Sunny right? Like, she's the one being like, I'm still on guard. And I'm like, girl, no, you are not.
No.
But again, I'm happy for them. Like, I'm not rooting against them. I'm happy that it's working out.
Yeah.
So, yeah. That's really all I can say about Ben and Sunny, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, I hope them all happiness. I don't think that was a proper
I hope
sentence.
them all the happiness.
Hope y'all are happy.
Yeah. Hopefully it lasts.
Yeah.
Like, whatever. But Barbie does say with the Kyle thing, like, I'm a class act and I'm not going to date somebody who's not. And that's where I was like, see, okay, this is where I have a little bit of a hard time with the whole Kyle and Barbie thing. Barbie could have, if that's the way she was feeling, didn't have to say I love you like 10 minutes later. She could have been like, let's take some space and like talk about this tomorrow or whatever. Like, it's just, she just flip-flops so much that, I mean, maybe she wasn't sure. Maybe that's actually what she was going through, but
I think she said a lot of things that she would take back.
Yeah.
If she could.
It was, I guess that's what love is, or that's what relationships are, is working through this stuff to see if you really want to be with somebody. But it was just a very intense roller coaster in a short amount of time.
Yeah.
Like, we went through all these episodes of being, you know, hooking up with him and worrying about your dad and calling your sister and calling your mom and talking to his mom on FaceTime and saying I love you and like why? It could have just been a boatman's. It really could have. Like, it didn't have to be that deep. So that's where I have a little bit of a hang up with that.
Yeah, it's just very unresolved because, like you said, it could have been a boatman's. Kyle, I think, would have been fine with that. He was just very into her.
Right.
And probably would have taken anything. I know that sounds bad, but I don't mean it in a bad way. And she could have established, like, okay, we're going to hang out on this boat. And then afterwards, maybe I'll give you a call in 6 months.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. So anyway, they're all very drunk.
Mm-hmm.
Kyle's not the only one. By the end of the night, they are all very drunk. And then this is where we get into the whole Zandy and Barbie thing.
Yeah.
You want me to set it up?
Buckle up.
So here's my notes on it. Zandy in the van told Barbie she would have fired her when all of this, the first stuff went down. You know what I mean? Like,
when she was almost fired.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So Zandy says that. Barbie then freaks the fuck out. She gets heated. She's drunk. She won't stop. Like, should Zandy have said that? No, she shouldn't have. But it was one of those things that you say when you're drunk and you're like, yeah, that was a mistake. I shouldn't have said that. Mm-hmm. There by no means was Zandy. This is where I'm going to kind of come to Zandy's defense. That Zandy said that one thing and then she dropped it.
Yeah.
She was like, okay, like, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said that. Mm-hmm. Barbie then basically just hammers her over and over and over. And it was very hard to watch. Like,
yeah, and I kind of got the sense she was just kind of rotating through things that she was saying. Yeah. It was just a loop. Yeah.
Now, again, Barbie's very drunk, and I don't think would have reacted this way if she wasn't. But it was very hard to watch Zandy because I do think Zandy's reaction, again, like you said, these people are not professional. They are not hiring Bradley Coopers and Jennifer Lawrences to be on Below Deck. Mm-hmm. Zandy's reaction was real, and I felt really bad for her because she got really upset. And like, you could just see her face. Like, it's like, it felt like bullying to me. And that's where I like really hate, I hate that. I hate bullying at any age. It's never okay. I don't think it's ever okay, even if you're drunk. And so I am going to say that. Like, I really did feel really bad for Zandy.
Yeah, I did too, because she said one dumb thing when she was drunk, and Barbie did a whole 2-hour meltdown because she was drunk. We've all said dumb things when we're drunk.
Yes.
And then the next day you're just like, hey, I'm sorry.
Yep.
But whole meltdown.
Yeah. And Paris, I mean, I would have been Paris in that situation. She's like, literally shut the fuck up. Like, shut up. Stop talking. Everybody was telling her to stop. And then Kyle is not gonna attack Zandy because he's not a terrible person.
Yeah.
And so then Barbie takes that. And this is where I get the sense, if this wasn't all completely staged, which it could have been, that Barbie's like, this is my out.
Yeah.
I can act like I'm mad at Kyle for doing this, and I can leave, and I can just be like, peace out, everybody.
Yeah. And like, correct me if I'm wrong, but I would probably act exactly like Kyle did.
Yeah.
Because I'm not going to yell at Zandy. I'm not going to yell at everybody else who's telling the person that needs to, relax. I'm not going to yell at those people. I'm going to be the quiet voice, like, hey, you should probably relax. Because she trusted him more than anyone else in the van. Mm-hmm. I would be the one to be like, hey, you should probably relax. And you can just see her, like, him, like, trying to, like, put a hand on her shoulder, like, grab her hand, and she's just like...
Yeah. She decided in that moment, which this is what drunk people do sometimes, that nothing was going to take them down. Like, nothing was going to. And Kyle tried his best, but, like, in that moment, there was nothing he could have done.
No.
Like, when you decide you're going to be mad as a very, very drunk person, you're going to be mad. Like...
Yep. Yeah, and I dealt with multiple people like that in college. The first couple, I was like, all right, let's just calm it down. Maybe let's watch some TV. And they're just, like, smacking their head against the wall.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, why is this wall so hard?
Exactly.
It's like, it's a fucking wall, buddy. And then after that, you're like, yeah, I'll check on you in 2 hours, make sure you're sleeping on your side.
Yeah.
And that sounds mean, but what are you going to do?
Right.
They're mad at everything in the world. Everyone hates them.
Yep.
They hate everything.
Yeah, exactly. Barbie does say something kind of funny when they get back on the boat. She's like, an alpha in a car full of betas.
Yeah.
And I was just like, yeah, it's funny. I'm going to give you that, but it's mean.
Yeah. Do you ever think about those van drivers?
Oh my God. Well, and there's like camera people in there too.
Yeah.
Like there's literally someone driving the van and then somebody in the passenger seat with a camera just facing them. Cause you see sometimes when things get really crazy, like they did, like the camera person like moving around.
Yeah. I always imagine the van driver has headphones on.
Yeah.
And he can't hear anything. And it's just like them screaming at each other in the back. And he just hears like, the saber-toothed tiger grew up to 750 pounds. And he's like, wow.
Yep. They're like the best noise canceling headphones.
Yeah, noise canceling. That's what I was going to
say. Then I wrote, how can she quit? It's over.
I know. I was like, you can't quit a job you've already completed. Like if you build a house, you can't be like, that's it. I'm out of here. It's like, okay, cool. Do you want your money or what? Or she already had her money.
She did.
You can't quit.
She literally just wasted her money on a night in a hotel that she didn't need to pay for.
Well, and she tarnished her reputation for actual, like, if she wanted to do anything outside of Below Deck.
I know.
On any boat outside
she really put all of her eggs in this basket. And it could work out. I have no doubt she's going to be on those summer house, winter house, all of that stuff. Mm-hmm. She's going to be on those shows. Yeah. Which, hey, good for you.
Do your thing.
I mean, it's true. She probably would have been on it without doing this, but doing this, people are going to want to know what she's up to.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. We loved Barbie the whole season, and I think we still love her, but we're kind of like, come on, what are you doing?
Yeah. I can't tolerate the meanness. If that was real, that's shitty. And I think she'd say that. Like, I'm not excusing it. But I would call myself out if I did that. Now, do I think I would have ever done what she did? No. But I've said stupid stuff before, and I've gotten mad at stuff that, like, the next day I'm like, yeah, that was stupid. Like, I think that's what makes you a good human, is if you make mistakes, you can say, I'm sorry, and I own up to it. But, anywho, Nick was asleep in the crew mess.
Yeah, passed out.
And that was real, because I was watching it. I was like, is this staged? Oh, no, that was real. That is the classic frat boy that never grew up.
Yep. Yeah.
I am 31 years old. He's 40. If I slept the way he did, forget it. Take me to the ER. I'm not moving.
Yeah, I can't even remember the last dumb place I slept.
If I don't have a bed, like, the last dumb place I slept was an air mattress on my friend's houseboat that kept deflating. like every hour, and that was the worst night of my life.
Yeah, I would have just slept on the floor at that point.
Oh my God, it was so bad. But yeah, that was funny. He was like snoring and then he woke himself up.
Yeah, and Kyle slept outside.
Oh, did he?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't notice that. I must have missed that.
That's a classic guy who just got his heart broken.
Oh, jeez. I know. So then we start with the goodbyes. We're kind of like getting into Dylan's the first goodbye. Of course, his interview is awkward. We can't expect any less at this point.
Yeah.
He did get a job as a captain of a boat, didn't he?
I didn't catch that part.
See, I don't know terms either. So, and somebody can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think Dylan said he got a job as a captain of a much smaller boat. So good for him. Love that for him. Wish him the best.
Yeah. And even Captain said he was like, I would 100% hire him again.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'd hire him as a bosun, just because of his personality.
Yeah, I'd give him another season on a big boat and then go from there.
Yeah. Paris leaves. She was great, and I will miss her.
She was great. I hope she comes back, or just go live your life and be happy.
Yeah, I will say, so out of all of the people on this season, I think Paris and I would get along the best.
Yeah.
Personality-wise, I think, like, I like Barbie. I don't know if Barbie and I could be super great friends just because of, like, Paris seems to have, like, the same type of humor that, like, my best friends and I have. So I think Paris and I would get along the best out of anybody.
Yeah, and, like, I think me and Kyle would get along the best.
Right, yep.
And maybe Ben, because I don't know everything about him because we don't see everything.
Right.
But I'd probably keep Ben a little bit further away. But yeah, me and Kyle would be boys.
And then, of course, to top off the hot mess that is Chef Nick, he trips up the stairs.
Yeah.
Oh, this poor guy.
Yeah.
He is like that guy that, like, it's almost like a cartoon. Like, what can go wrong is going to go wrong. Like,
yeah.
He honestly has decent patience.
Yeah.
Like, because of, again, like, Fraser.
With the whole Paris thing,
yes.
too? Yeah.
And if I was that hungover and I tripped up the stairs like that, I would have punched the stair.
I would have punched a stair. Yeah. I was going to say that if you didn't say that. I would have punched a stair.
So the fact that he could laugh about that, I was like, hey, kudos, because I don't know that I could have.
Yeah. Yeah. Especially if it wasn't the last day. If we had like 3 weeks left, I would have punched a stair. Yeah. I don't even care.
That's true. Maybe because it was the last day.
Yeah, he's like, I'm out of here. It's one last FU from this boat.
Yep. Barbie and Captain briefly talk on the phone. There's really not much to say about this. It's just kind of like, yeah, she left. He's like, okay, bye. Like, weird that it had to be this way. But again, you can't quit a boat that's over.
Yeah.
So there's really not much for Captain to do.
I know. It would, yeah. Weird, just weird. Like Ben tells Captain, like, oh yeah, she had a meltdown last night. She left in the middle of the night, and he's like, fucking hell. That was all he said.
Right, because what's he gonna do? He is nothing. He has no responsibility in this.
Yeah, you need to come back and not work anymore because you already finished your contract.
Yes.
What?
Again, all she did was waste a free night on a boat, so I wouldn't have wasted that. Hotel rooms are expensive.
Especially there, yeah.
Yeah.
And then she's like, yeah, I don't really like this hotel room, but there's villas around here. I want to try and get one of those.
I know.
And we're like, okay.
Okay, Barbie.
Relax, please.
It's her character, I think.
We loved you all season.
I know. So Fraser does have another good line here. I think he's talking to Zandy about Barbie, and he's like, she took her reins off and she galloped.
Yeah, I meant to write that down, but I didn't. Yeah.
You know what? He's not wrong.
He's not wrong.
She reached the end and she's like, fuck you guys. Like, I am done. And like, it was kind of Fraser's way, I think, of saying, hey guys, I was right.
Yeah. We didn't believe him.
Without saying it, he said it, you know?
We didn't believe him.
Oh man. So yeah, and then they keep saying goodbyes. Ben, we already kind of talked about like Captain Carey and Ben. I said, damn, he wouldn't hire Ben back. Did you see Captain Carey's fresh New Balances?
I did. I clocked those bad boys in the ankle
Honestly, I'm
socks.
not even being sarcastic. Those are pretty fresh.
Been telling you for years, New Balances are in.
I like New Balance. I have like my 550s, are they called? You know which ones they are. They have like pink and blue and yellow on them.
I think those are the 550s.
Yeah. Yeah, I like them. I should wear those more. They're like stored where I don't always.
Are they high tops?
No.
Low tops?
Yeah.
I don't think that's 550 then.
I'll Google it.
I don't know.
Anyway, Captain Carey looking fresh. And then what else?
Sonny and Ben leave together.
Yeah.
And then Fraser and Captain have a very,
Yeah.
very, very good send off. Captain is proud of Fraser, and he's very impressed with how the season went, even though there was ups and downs, bumps in the road. Apparently Fraser's going to Florida like the rest of the crew for some reason.
Right. Miami.
Yeah. And then the best part was the last line of the episode. Captain Carey hits us with, "Boy, that was one hell of an adventure."
Uh-huh. I actually wrote that down too.
Yeah, I was like, call back.
Yep. Oh, yeah, that's true. I didn't even clock that. I was like, oh, they're just trying to make him be dramatic. But I really did have the sense, I was like, wow, like we go on this adventure too.
We do, yeah.
You know, like doing this show is wild because you know, we are analyzing this show more than any other show I watch, you know.
Yeah.
I've like flown through Brooklyn Nine-Nine and
Yeah.
you know, you just kind of, you don't feel like you're on the adventure if you don't have a podcast about it, I guess.
Exactly. Like Brooklyn Nine-Nine, like what's Amy's name in that show?
Amy Santiago. Last night, Brad was
It
like,
sounded funnier in my head.
Brad's like, you noticed that her last name, she didn't take Jake's last name? I was like, yeah. I was like, what about it? He's like, I don't know. I'm like, okay, good talk.
You're like, what, do you want to start a podcast about it?
Brooklyn Nine-Nine is such a fast show that doing a podcast on it would be like pretty hard.
Yeah, you'd probably do like 2 or 3 episodes at a time.
See, those are the 550s. Those are kind of cool.
Yeah, those
I like
are high
those.
tops.
No, they're not.
Aren't they?
No.
Because these are low tops.
They're low tops. I mean, they might be a mid top, but they're not high tops.
Oh, you are right. That is a mid top. I'm thinking high tops are like Air Force Ones. High tops.
No. Well, yeah, I guess there is an Air Force One high top, but I
Yeah.
have Nike high tops.
Yeah. I just never wear high tops, so I thought medium tops were high tops.
Medium
Anyways,
tops. That's a real thing.
Enough about tops.
So this is a little bit of an end of an era for us. This is our last audio episode.
Yeah.
So we really, really, really don't want to see our audio listeners go away.
Yes.
We know we have some of you out there, and we appreciate you so much. We are going to strictly just be on YouTube after this. Again, it just became too much, and we were, there's only 2 of us doing this.
Yeah.
So we just don't, we can't spread ourselves that thin. So we're just going to be on YouTube now. But please join us over there. Maybe you already are. Maybe that's true. Maybe like people that listen on audio are already over there. But please head over there and subscribe. We're not missing a beat. We're gonna pick right back up with the new season of Below Deck Med, June 3rd. That's the season premiere
With Sandy and Aisha.
Sandy and Aisha, and the rest of the crew is brand new. The day this episode comes out, we are doing a YouTube live.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So you are listening to this on Friday, May 31st, hopefully, if this is the day it comes out. Mm-hmm. Tonight at 7:30 p.m. Central Time, we are going to do our first YouTube live. You're going to have to bear with us. This is going to be the first time I think either one of us is doing this.
Yeah.
So it's going to be kind of a work in progress. We would love to see, even just a few of you, and if you can't make it live, we will post it. I mean, it will be live, but then it will be on our channel, right?
Yeah.
So what we are going to do on the live is it's going to be about an hour, maybe a little bit shorter. It'll just depend on like how many people hop on and if we are having conversations. But we're going to put together a bingo card because somebody asked about that.
Oh, yeah.
So that's what we are going to do on the live is we're both going to have bingo cards and we're just going to go through and like write random stuff. And then I guess figure out like if whoever gets bingo first during the season, like gets something or...
Well, yeah, it's like bingo cards for the next season of Below
Yes,
Deck.
like of the season of Below Deck Med.
Like one spot could be like Chief Stew cries first episode, or like second stew shits her pants.
Yeah, it can't be as specific as that though, because I figured, and that's what we're gonna kind of hopefully work through with some of you guys. Okay, here's this: either come to our live. If you can't make it to the live, comment. This can be like our secret word. Comment one thing we should put on our bingo cards.
Yeah.
Because it's going to be like, first interior person to quit or something. Like, I don't know. Like, we'll just have to, we're going to work through that with you guys. So, and then again, if you join, we're going to be answering questions, just kind of hanging out. We've been asked like multiple times to do this. So we're like, going to try it.
Yeah.
So
yeah, 7:30 tonight.
Tonight.
After this gets posted at midnight on Friday.
Right. Yeah.
I was kind of telling myself that more than...
Yeah. It's Lane walking himself through it. So
I'm smart. I know things.
So just to recap, you're listening to this tonight, 7:30 Central is our live. This is our last audio episode. If you're listening on an audio platform, we are strictly going to be on YouTube from now on.
Please come over to YouTube.
Please. And then the last thing is we are going to be delayed 2 days, our first episode of the new season of Med, because my husband and I are going out of town and we won't be back. So we're just going to be a little bit delayed. All of that information is on our social medias. So like I posted on Instagram, TikTok, and it's on the YouTube. So
and then we have the extra video on Sunday.
Yes, that's the so many things.
Extra episode, I should say.
Yes, we are going to be posting our bonus episode on Sunday. So in 2 days, that will be on our YouTube. So look out for that on Sunday, June 2nd or something. So
June 2nd.
So yeah, we have a lot for you guys. Yeah. So we have this episode, the live tonight, the bonus episode in a couple days, and then our first episode of Med will be posted like a week after we post the bonus episode. So.
Yeah.
Any questions?
Any question?
Nothing? Okay. All right, guys. We love you so much. We are so happy. If you've been here with us from the beginning, we love you. If this is your first time listening, we also love you. Yes.
We also love you.
This is us finishing up our 3rd season, and we're so excited to go into our 4th. Yeah. And we will see you then.
We'll see you then.
All right. Bye.
Bye.